Hello everyone, this is my project on the electromagnetic spectrum. Now, before I start, I do apologize for my voice. I recorded this like 10 million times today, so yeah. Try my best. Today, I'm going to explain what it is and go through each type of electromagnetic wave and share some cool facts along the way. Alright, so the electromagnetic spectrum, or EMS for short, is basically the range of all electromagnetic radiation. These waves are made up of electric and magnetic fields, and they all move at the speed of light. The only difference between them is their wavelength and frequency, which affects their energy and how they interact with matter. Let's start with radio waves. Radio waves have the longest wavelength, anywhere from about a millimeter to more than 100 kilometers. Their frequency go from about 3 kilohertz to 300 gigahertz, and they can travel through the atmosphere and around obstacles. We use them for communication, things like radios, TVs, cell phones, and they're generally safe, but a strong exposure can heat tissues, so like if it's strong enough, it can burn your skin. A cool fact is that astronomers actually use radio waves to study the distant galaxy, so I think that's how we know what space looks like. Next are microwaves. These have wavelengths between a millimeter and about 30 centimeters, with frequencies up to 300 gigahertz. They can pass through clouds and light rain. Microwaves are used in ovens, Wi-Fi, radar, and satellites, all that stuff. Too much exposure can heat and damage tissue. An interesting fact is that the faint microwave glow in space, that's actually leftover radiation from the Big Bang. So, yeah. Now we move to infrared. Infrared wavelengths range from about 700 nanometers to a millimeter. They're often given off as heat, and that's why thermal cameras use them. Infrared can't go through solid objects, but it's used in remote controls, heating, and night vision. Too much infrared can burn skin, damage eyes, and burn you, Fun fact, snakes can actually detect infrared, and that's actually how they see in the dark, and hunt and all that. Then comes visible light. This is the part of the spectrum we can actually see. From about 400 to 700 nanometers. Frequencies range from about 430 to 770 terahertz. Visible light passes through transparent things like glass and water. We use it for vision, photography, fiber optics, and it's usually safe, but if it's very intense, like a laser, and you look at it for some reason, then yeah, that can probably blind you. And white light is actually all the colors spectrum combined. Next are ultraviolet rays, or UV in short. Their wavelengths, they go from about 10 to 400 nanometers, with higher frequencies than visible light. Most UV is blocked by the ozone layer, but some does reach Earth. UV is used for sterilizing, medical tools, tanning, and detecting fake money. The danger is that too much UV can cause sunburn, skin cancer, and eye damage. Fun fact, bees, they can actually see ultraviolet, which is how they find nectar, and after that we have X-rays. These have wavelengths about 0.01 to 10 nanometers with very high frequencies They can pass through soft tissue and are absorbed by bones and metals. So they can pass through the soft stuff, but they're absorbed by the bones and stuff. Hard. That's why doctors use them for imaging, and they're also used in airport security. The danger is that too much exposure can damage cells and raise your cancer risk. An interesting fact is that William Röntgen discovered X-rays by accident in the 1800s. Finally, gamma rays. These have the shortest wavelength of them. They're less than 0.01 nanometers, and the highest frequency, so above 10 to the 19th hertz. They can penetrate almost anything, even metals. We use them in cancer treatment, sterilizing equipment, and studying space. Gamma rays are very dangerous, causing radiation, sickness, and even cancer if you're exposed. And a fun fact is that gamma rays come from a supernova explosions and even lightning on Earth. Here's the electromagnetic spectrum in order. Alright, so we've got gamma rays, X-rays, ultraviolet, visible light, infrared, microwaves, and radio waves. To sum this all up, the electromagnetic spectrum is a huge range of waves and different energies and uses. From the radio signals that let us talk on our phones and let me record this right as I'm speaking, to the gamma rays that help fight cancer. The EMS is a big part of science and everyday life. Thanks for watching or putting your heads down. And yeah, have a great day.